And a great pleasure to welcome to our book talk segment today a woman who has written a book. I know it's going to help a lot of people who suffer from autoimmune diseases. It's called the Immune System Recovery Plan, a doctor's 4-step program to treat autoimmune disease. We're joined by Dr. Susan Blum today from up in the beautiful state of New York in Westchester County, as we just found out before we went on, and she joined us by telephone. And Doctor, thanks for being with us. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good to have a chance to chat with you for a few minutes. I do have a member of my family that has suffered from an autoimmune disease, so I know this book is going to help her out. And how prevalent is autoimmune disease? You didn't really hear a lot about it until maybe 10 years ago, but is it more prevalent now?
Well, it turns out that we're really in the midst of an epidemic that we're just starting to hit the news and people are talking about. I certainly am seeing it more and more in my office, and I think most doctors will tell you that. Right now, the estimates are around 23.5 million Americans suffer from this group of diseases. It's a whole bunch of different illnesses that range from lupus to Hashimoto's thyroid disease, Graves' disease, Crohn's disease, Sjogren's syndrome, which one of the Williams sisters has.
Right.
That hit the news with her. A whole, hemolytic anemia. I mean, there's a whole long list of illnesses that are all under this category. And in fact, there's only diabetes surpasses autoimmune disease in terms of numbers. So it's really the second most common chronic disease in our country behind diabetes, even more than cancer.
Really? I didn't realize the number was that high.
Yeah, and it's a huge problem. And if you add in people with asthma, people with other immune issues, allergies, the number is staggering. And this is a whole spectrum of people suffering with an immune system that's just not working right? And so I wrote the book to give people an idea of how to fix the underlying foundations to the immune system so that way their immune system can sort of right itself again.
I was going to say, I have allergies myself, always had them, and I always wondered, why is the body allergic to certain things? What causes that? Do we know?
Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, we know for sure that the immune system is sort of overreacting, right? And so you're getting an exaggerated immune response to a common sort of allergen, right? Mm-hmm. And so there are triggers. And so the saying we like to use in functional medicine, so I practice a specialty called functional medicine, and it's really an emerging medical specialty that's grown to meet this whole epidemic of chronic illness. Our medical system is great at dealing with acute care medicine, right? You have chest pain. It's, you go to the hospital. We're good at that. But chronic illness, where people really have ongoing symptoms and disability, from chronic inflammation, medical is not so good. Our conventional system is not great at that. We just give people sort of painkillers, an immune-suppressing medicine. But functional medicine really emerged to manage and treat the underlying causes of complex chronic illness, and that's what I do. And what I've learned and what I've studied. And so I know how to look for the triggers. And so one of the things we like to say, an analogy, is that if you're sitting on a tack, right, everyone can envision that. You're sitting on a tack, and ouch, it hurts, right? You have pain where you're sitting on the tack. And so the answer isn't to just take aspirin to kill the pain. The answer is to find that tack and get rid of it, right, and remove it. So I'm a detective. I'm busy looking for the tacks. Where are the tacks in your body that are causing your immune system to be overactive or to just be sick? We can just label it that way. And we know that, and there's a lot of really good research looking at these causes. And so I've identified the 4 most fundamental causes, and I put them into the book, and I explain how to fix those 4 things. So my 4-step program looks at the main triggers for autoimmune disease are food, stress, gut issues, and we'll go back and talk about that, and toxins, especially mercury. And so we go through the 4 steps, and in the book it's really a how-to workbook, how to help you choose the right foods to eat that won't cause inflammation and immune problems in your body, and this involves gluten, right? So going on a gluten-free diet especially is important, and I explain that in the book. So the whole fixing your food, and helping manage your stress better, because the stress hormones will hurt your immune system, helping heal your intestinal lining, and helping your gut flora be really healthy, because it turns out 70% of your immune system is in your intestines, All right, so you really have to have healthy flora, and I show you how to do that and how to heal your gut. And number 4, really important, are the toxins that we're all exposed to, especially mercury in the fish, and there's a lot of research looking at mercury and its association with triggering autoimmune disease.
Yeah, I know you talk a lot about it in there, but particularly tuna fish, right, has the mercury in it.
Well, I have to say that tuna is high in mercury. But there are many different kinds of tuna, and so some, albacore tuna in the can in moderation a few times a month is probably okay. But I see a lot of high mercury in my, white collar guy, adult community, my city people that that work in the city and eat sushi for lunch every day. And I was measuring their mercury levels, and they were off the charts. My husband, his mercury level in his blood was like 85, and the upper limit should be 15.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really, it's common, and you can ask your doctor to measure your mercury levels.
Stay away from the sushi.
Well, I'm not trying to take everyone off all sushi, but, life is about moderation. If you have an autoimmune disease, though, you definitely should not eat the raw, the certain kinds of sushi that have tuna, especially. And eel is terrible. Eel's like number 1, highest in mercury. You should never eat eel ever.
I don't, because I wouldn't eat that anyway, but good to know.
I know, but some people are healthy and their bodies handle the metals better and they can clear them out. And I suspect people with autoimmune disease probably are a little handicapped in their ability to metabolize the metals, and so they get sick from it. It's like, why do some people get sick from it and some people don't?
Right.
There's genetics that predispose you to that,
Now, can you reverse, not talking about necessarily allergies now, but the more serious autoimmune diseases, like you mentioned, lupus and the others, can the food diet help reverse that?
Yeah, not just diet, the 4 steps. You really have to go through all 4 steps. Right. But absolutely, what you can reverse is you can reverse and heal the immune system. For some people, like myself, who I had autoimmune thyroid disease, so I had antibodies to my thyroid. For me, my antibodies are gone, so I quote-unquote cured myself. I don't like to use that word cure because it's, very tricky and loaded, but I reversed it, right? I don't have antibodies to my thyroid anymore. And so you can heal your immune system, and you can remove those tasks so that your immune system is working in a more balanced way. You can definitely resolve all your symptoms depending on how debilitated you are already. So let me clarify. If you have MS and you have a lot of damage already to your nervous system, this program is not going to cure you, so you're going to have fix something that's a permanent damage, However, what at this point, with someone who already has some permanent damage, you're really looking to not have any more damage, and also to relieve a lot of your symptoms, and this program will definitely do that. So the way I like to phrase it is, you can prevent autoimmune disease in the first place. You can reverse some of the damage you already have, maybe not all of it, but you definitely can control and heal you can heal your immune system, and you can definitely improve all of your symptoms. So you will feel better without, the drugs. You reduce inflammation throughout your whole body when you do this program. And so I'm not saying it's going to cure everybody depending on where they are in their spectrum of disease already, but we can definitely cure the causes. We can take care of the underlying triggers and prevent the progression of the disease. And that's really, for some people, that's an amazing opportunity. For everybody, it really is.
That's good news. Good to hear, Doctor. And I know you have a lot of recipes in the book, and let the people, when they get the book, they can go through it. But I think you talk about juicing in there as well. Is that a pretty good way to kind of help your body too? Juicing vegetables and fruit and that kind of thing?
It actually really is, because when you look at supporting your liver, which is about clearing toxins out, toxins are so bad for your immune system. The liver needs all those greens, right? So cruciferous vegetables, and the cabbages and the kales and the broccoli. So your liver really needs all of those to do a good job. You also your immune cells need a lot of antioxidants. So all those colors, are really good in the fruits and vegetables and peppers, and all those things really help your immune cells be protected from getting sick, right? It protects them. So at the end of the day, eating, it's what you want to take out of your diet, foods that are causing inflammation, and you want to eat foods that are healthy and support your immune health. And I go into that in depth and use it. My whole part one of the book is using food as medicine, and you really can learn to eat in a way that really helps you feel better. And for some people, just fixing the food and changing how they're eating is 50% of all their symptoms go away. And I've seen miracles from just changing food. And I'm not promising miracles to everybody, but I'm just saying I have seen that.
No.
And you don't have much to lose. You know, it's not going to cost you any money to change your diet, you know, in terms of you don't have to buy tons of supplements. You don't have to, you know, go spend a lot of money on, you know, fancy equipment. You just have to modify the way you're eating in a way that's going to help your immune system come into balance. And that's the first very important step that everybody can and should take.
Name of the book is The Immune System Recovery Plan. We've been talking with Dr. Susan Blum today. And Doctor, I know we have limited time, but I know the folks are going to want to get this book. You have a website people can go to?
Yeah, exactly. I created a great website at immuneprogram.com, and I put up videos and a lot of explanation about the program and the book. And so I created it as a resource, and there's an opportunity to ask questions on that website. So immuneprogram.com, and you can always go buy the book from that website. It can launch you into Amazon or wherever you want to buy it. But I really recommend people go to immuneprogram.com to read about, you know, what I'm talking. I explain this in greater detail, so I think you can learn a lot about the book there.
Great. Doctor, thank you for taking the time today. I know being a physician, it's a busy schedule, but thank you for writing the book. I think it's going to help a lot of people.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.